In the previous part, we saw that Doctor Strange was the only person who knew what was going to happen through his visions, also what our young Avengers and other heroes were doing in the time being. Like both the Spider-Mans were busy in their college life. What was happening with Negabans and the 10 Rings? Now if done with the recap, let's jump into the part 2. In the next shot, we see Clint Barton, who was having his morning coffee and just driving through the city. He is about to enter a department store, but then he experiences the same phenomenon, as if a storm is coming. And the same thing is felt by Wonder Man, who is in Los Angeles. Wonder Man is actually a show we haven't seen yet, so we don't know this character. But most probably, we might get to see this show next year, and I don't think this show was connected to Kang Dynasty in any way, or that Wonder Man will get a major place in the MCU. Why this character was written, you might find out later. After the entire storm builds up, we are shown 3 large projections of Immortus, Ramatut, and the Scarlet Centurion. These 3 together convey just one message: your world is in danger. And your own Avengers are responsible for destroying this reality. If they hadn't played with reality and time, everything would have been fine. So now they have come to this world to achieve just 2 things: Kamala's Negabans and Shang-Chi's 10 Rings. Their entire council of Kangs is called the Kang Dynasty, and they say that the Kang Dynasty will cleanse your entire world and start anew. And all these speeches are being watched by different superheroes in their different locations without being able to do anything because they can't do anything. We see Hope Van Dyne and Hank Pym at the Pym residence, where Janet blames herself for all this because she thinks she should have believed Kang in the quantum realm. She left that door open, that's why all these people have come back now. And then a full montage is shown where Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Miles, the party in Wakanda, Hulk, Shang-Chi, Moon Knight, even Daredevil, all of them are experiencing what is happening. And just after this speech ends, Immortus arrives with many large ships, very large ones, with circular rings around them like Shang-Chi's. All those ships come to Earth and begin pure, absolute destruction. Earth's large monuments, big structures, major cities, we can see all of them being destroyed one by one in a montage. But it's not just destruction that's shown, several major characters also die here. For example, the entire Pym family. They try to save themselves, but the destruction consumes them. Peter tries to go save Ned and MJ, but Miles stops him because Peter wouldn't even reach them amid such terrible destruction and would die himself. So, after Miles stops him, Peter composes himself a bit and realizes the mistake he was making. And after this, we see Tony's family, Happy, Morgan, and Pepper, all just waiting for their death. They hold a photo of Tony. Pepper says, "Not like this," but they have no choice. And the next moment, flames completely destroy them. And some time after all this happens, a small time skip is shown, and we see Sam Wilson in Wakanda, who gives a speech and invites all the superheroes. So, all the superheroes arrive in Wakanda, including Spider-Man, Miles, Strange, Daredevil, Moon Knight, and all the current MCU superheroes you can imagine. Star-Lord, who was already on Earth and saw his grandfather die, also comes and meets the Guardians, the remaining Guardians, Kraglin, Rocket, etc., and a very wholesome reunion-type moment is shown. Peter also meets Miles, apologizes to him, says what he did was wrong, and from now on, he will try to be better, set a better example. But here, Daredevil, Moon Knight, and the Punisher are pretty much just statues. Moon Knight even gets a couple of dialogues, but Daredevil has no role here at all. Now, what actually happened is that Immortus is in space with his ship, but he has sent Ramatut and the Scarlet Centurion to the ground to collect the MacGuffins. So, here in Washington, D.C., they have built a huge fortress, castle-type structure, which Kang's other smaller variants keep building. And inside it sits Ramatut and the Scarlet Centurion. Now, there's a bit of a tussle between Ramatut and the Scarlet Centurion because their ideologies are different. The Scarlet Centurion thinks Ramatut is a weak link and will break someday. But Ramatut thinks he is a very obedient and loyal follower of Immortus, and no matter what, nothing can make him a weak link. Now, Sam makes a plan according to which he divides the Avengers heroes present into 3 teams. One team will go into space to fight Immortus. The second team will try to breach the castle fortress on Earth. And the third team will work on distracting the Scarlet Centurion present in that same castle. So, first we are shown the team going into space. This is led by Sam Wilson, and it includes pretty much all the superheroes we can call flyers and very powerful. And as they reach space, we are shown that on Earth, the leaders, all the presidents, prime ministers, had also gathered in Wakanda for security reasons while the world is being destroyed. They think, we are hiding here, and then they feel they can't even trust the people they are hiding with because the Avengers ruined reality. So, they tell Nick Fury to activate President Ross's contingency plan. Now, this thing was not shown in Captain America, Brave New World because it might have been changed, but in this script, it's revealed that Ross's contingency plan is to use adamantium sentinels. And although this isn't in Fury's favor, the leaders still unleash them. So, the adamantium sentinels first reach the Avengers in front of Immortus's ship and start attacking it. But the shield in front of his ship absorbs everything. The Avengers arrive there. Captain Marvel and Wonder Man come out of their ship, fire their blasts at it, but nothing happens to its shield. And seeing all this, Immortus just laughs. Now, at ground level, their own fight has also started because Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher, and others are attacking Ramatut's fortress together. And Doctor Strange, Thor, and other superheroes, whose job is to distract him, start attacking the Scarlet Centurion. But then Shang-Chi, who is present there, uses his rings, and they find out that the 10 rings, which they came here for, are present in this fight. So, the Scarlet Centurion goes after Shang-Chi, but taking advantage of this opportunity, Doctor Strange opens a portal. Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, Thor, and many other superheroes go inside that portal, and the Scarlet Centurion follows them. So, the distraction plan worked. Now, in this fight, Ramatut is shown to be very strong. But one man stands in front of him, Moon Knight. Moon Knight fights his way through all the people, straight to Ramatut. A good battle is shown between these two. Although Moon Knight throws him far away, the way this entire battle is described. Moon Knight gives him a pretty good fight. Now, what Doctor Strange has done is that he has taken the Scarlet Centurion and his small army to the Gap Junction. This is the same place we saw at the beginning of Multiverse of Madness, where an alternate version of Doctor Strange and America Chavez go to get the Book of Ashanti. After reaching this place, the Scarlet Centurion first fights them. They keep jumping on platforms. But then the Scarlet Centurion's eyes fall on the Book of Vishanti, and he thinks that if he gets this book, he might become even more powerful than Immortus. So, instead of following Immortus, he chooses his personal gain over that loyalty point and starts going towards the Book of Vishanti. Seeing this, Doctor Strange runs, saying, "We have to stop him." Because he knows if he achieves the book, how powerful he will become. They stop the Scarlet Centurion and completely surround his small army. But the Scarlet Centurion is very clever. He presses a button on his belt, and a portal opens beneath them all, causing them to fall straight into the quantum realm. This is the same place we saw in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, where Kang's castle fortress was shown. Now, the people of the quantum realm have built a village there. After arriving here, they resume their fight once again. Meanwhile, in space, Immortus has completely dismantled all the Avengers who had come. First, he kills Torres, so his condition becomes very bad. He shoots at Captain America Sam Wilson, but he takes the shot on his own chest. Star-Lord dies right there. Groot and Rocket, seeing this, go crazy and attack Immortus, so Immortus kills them both too. Seeing this, Hulk and Scar go wild and run to attack, so he kills them as well. Seeing this, Hulk, who was in his Professor Hulk version, starts becoming savage. But Immortus freezes him in time. Meanwhile, on the ground, Spider-Man is trying to fight Ramatut and puts up a pretty good fight. But then Ramatut hits Spider-Man in the chest with his scepter, and he is about to die. But then Miles intervenes. He fights Ramatut, and Miles finishes him off by getting inside him and, in his chest. Miles Morales' story ends here. But a very interesting fight is going on at the Gap Junction. Thor, who had brought love with him, the love from Love and Thunder, now a bit older, these two put up a good fight against the Scarlet Centurion. But he kills Love. Seeing this, Thor goes berserk, summons lightning. And this rage of his wakes up Shang-Chi, who is a broken, bloody Shang-Chi lying on the ground. He fully charges his rings, which now glow blue along with gold, and attacks the Scarlet Centurion. The Scarlet Centurion takes advantage of this moment and starts pulling those rings towards himself, somewhat like we saw in Shang-Chi, but Shang-Chi's will was still very strong, and he pulls the rings back. Seeing this, the Scarlet Centurion panics. But then Clea, who was there with Doctor Strange, realizes the situation is getting very serious and opens a portal, telling Doctor Strange to take Shang-Chi away from there. Doctor Strange says, "Why should we go?" But then he understands that as long as the rings are here, Shang-Chi is not safe. So, it's better to send him to another dimension through a portal. But just as Doctor Strange is about to do this, the Scarlet Centurion presses a few more buttons and pulls in Doctor Strange's sling ring. Seeing the Scarlet Centurion running away from there, Doctor Strange sends the others away but goes after him himself. Meanwhile, on the ground, we see Clint Barton has died. Kate Bishop is crying over him, and Kang's variants and his army are slowly surrounding them. She asks for help, and Khonshu once again wakes Moon Knight. Our Mark Spector gets up again, goes straight to Ramatut, and starts another fight with him, this time with Khonshu. This fight is even more excellent, and Moon Knight almost wins. But Ramatut, using some trick, first kills Khonshu and then Moon Knight. The way this scene is shown feels quite impressive. Overall, in this script, the dialogues weren't that great to me, some were a bit cringeworthy too. But in this scene, the dialogues written are quite good. During the first battle, Ramatut calls Moon Knight a false god. But when Moon Knight comes to him with Khonshu, Khonshu tells Ramatut, "You are a false god. You should have understood by now, you haven't done anything else all these years." Well, thank you guys for watching this video till the end. This was the second part, and the next part is going to be the last of the series, so stay tuned. Subscribe the channel with the bell thingy. Share this series with your Marvel fanatic friends. And let us all discuss about the theories in the comment section. And believe me, the next episode is going to be a blast.